Let's take a look at some assessment and data collection options. We know as reading interventionists and educators, the beginning of the year is a really popular time to have assessments for our students done. Also, the middle of the year and the end of the year are really common times as well. So we want to make sure we're giving our students the most appropriate assessments at the most appropriate time of the year. I personally like to give my formal and standardized assessments along with my informal assessments at the beginning and end of the year. I do not typically give formal assessments in the middle of the year. A lot of the times those assessments require more time for growth to be shown, and we don't want to assess our students too soon on those formal tests. But informal assessments and mastery checks are totally appropriate for those middle of the school year assessment and testing periods. Something else that's really important to consider with assessments is we don't want to neglect our older students. Middle schoolers and high schoolers often have a lot of gaps in their testing and their assessments. We want to make sure we're even doing the small remedial things like decoding and phonological awareness assessments with them. Gaps that we see in those assessments are going to give us a lot of information about where our students are. So we want to make sure we're even giving older students things that seem like they might have grown out of, but most likely they definitely have not. Something important to consider as well is going to be that all of these assessments really do vary in pricing and level of expertise required to administer them. So before you give any of these assessments, make sure you're checking methodologies for those assessments. That way we're always maintaining a reliable and valid data outcome. And as always, you can find this graphic in our bio.